Today, I'm going to show you a comedy and action movie titled American Ultra. There will be spoilers ahead. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. The movie begins with a man named Mike Howell, who is handcuffed to the table in an interrogation room. An interrogation officer enters the room, while another man watches from behind a one-way mirror. Mike sees flashes of events that transpired within the last couple of days. Printed images of evidence like a dustpan, a bloody spoon, and a shot-up teddy bear are placed on the table. 3 days ago, Mike was living peacefully with his girlfriend, Phoebe, in Lyman, West Virginia. Mike, who is a stoner, is deeply in love with Phoebe and describes her as the best thing to ever happen to him. Mike planned a surprise trip to Hawaii with the intention of proposing to Phoebe, but unfortunately, they missed their flight because Mike had a panic attack. He always has a panic attack anytime he tries to leave the city and is unsure as to why this happens. Mike repeatedly apologizes to Phoebe, and while it's obvious that she is unhappy about it, she still forgives him. The next day, Mike returns to his job as a clerk at a local supermarket. It is a slow day, so Mike spends his time drawing his original comic. Later, he goes outside to have a quick smoke break, and it is then revealed that the CIA is surveilling him. Mike was part of a secret operation called the Ultra Program, but has somehow lost his memory of it. At the CIA headquarters, Victoria is going through classified files when her former assistant named Douglas enters her office to say goodbye for the night. Victoria then gets a call, and a distorted voice tells her that the Ultra Program is now active, and Mike would be eliminated within 24 hours. Victoria protests, saying that they promised to protect Mike, but the voice tells her not to interfere, and that this is just a courtesy call. Later, Victoria confronts a fellow agent, Adrian, who has been avoiding her. She tells him that they are supposed to protect their former assets and not kill them. Adrian argues that Mike has become a liability since he keeps trying to leave town, and as he is a government asset, they can do whatever they want to him. He then rudely tells her to get out of his sight. Back in West Virginia, Mike and Phoebe are spending some time in their favorite spot. They smoke and exchange ideas about Mike's comic book. The pair notice a tow truck about to tow a car that had hit a tree. Mike, feeling melancholic, describes the car as constantly moving with the potential of going anywhere it wants, whereas the tree is stationary and hasn't done anything useful with its life before stopping the car. Mike begins to cry. He tells Phoebe that she is the car while he is the tree, and implies that he is holding her back in life. Phoebe consoles him and tells him that he is wrong, and that she loves him. After a while, they return home to sleep. The next day, Mike lies to Phoebe and tells her that he is going to work early, but instead, he goes to see his friend Rose. He buys some fireworks from Rose. Mike is still determined to propose to Phoebe, even though they couldn't make their trip to Hawaii. He plans to use the fireworks to put on a show for her. Later that night, while Mike is at work, Victoria shows up to warn him about the planned assassination attempt. She recites a code that is supposed to activate his hidden abilities, but it doesn't seem to work. Mike is confused and doesn't understand what is happening. Victoria is frustrated after multiple failed attempts of activating Mike, and she leaves. Later, Mike goes outside to smoke a joint and sees two guys tampering with his car. He calls out to them, and they approach him with knives. It turns out that Victoria's attempt at activating Mike was successful as Mike reacts swiftly by throwing hot soup in one guy's face and disarms both of them. He then stabs the other guy in the neck with a spoon and shoots both men, killing them. Mike is terrified and can't believe what just happened. He calls Phoebe at work. She rushes over and sees the dead men, but before they can figure out what to do next, they are arrested by their local sheriff. Adrian is informed that they have lost the two assets sent to kill Mike, and immediately realizes that Victoria must have activated Mike's skills. He orders his men to lock down the town and assigns two new agents, Crane and Laffer, to neutralize Mike and Phoebe. At the station, Mike and Phoebe try to figure out what happened. Mike tells Phoebe about the woman Victoria, who came over to the supermarket and flawlessly recites the code she said. Mike is surprised because his memory isn't normally great, but for some reason he can precisely remember everything that has happened in the last 94 minutes. While the sheriff interrogates them, the lights go out and an alarm blares. Crane kicks in the entrance door and starts shooting the policeman, while Laffer sneaks in through the back and tries to kill Mike. Mike and Phoebe are able to defend themselves and lock Laffer in the cell. Mike and Phoebe try to run away while Crane shoots at them. Crane then throws a grenade to them, but Mike catches it and throws it back to Crane, blowing up the police station. Mike and Crane get into a fistfight, but Mike overpowers her and kills her. Mike heads over to the supermarket where he parked his car. Phoebe starts to freak out and Mike hugs her and calms her down. While they are in the parking lot, the wind picks up a plastic bag that lands on Mike's car, setting off a bomb that the men from earlier had planted. Adrian is brought to a bunch of sleeper agents, and he sees Laffer, who survived the explosion at the police station. Adrian then decides to use Laffer and a couple of other agents to go after Mike. Back at the town, Mike and Phoebe take her car to Rose's home, where they think they will be safe. Rose is initially suspicious when he sees them because the news made it seem like Mike had contracted typhoid from Victoria, and that's why the town is on lockdown, but he eventually helps them. Meanwhile, Victoria goes to the destroyed police station and sees Crane's corpse outside. She calls Douglas and asks for his help. Douglas then sends her a package with guns and information about Laffer and Crane. From the information on the files, Victoria deduces that Adrian is using people with mental health problems for his program. Victoria tries contacting Douglas again, but this time he tells her he can't help her because he has been told that she is committing treason. Adrian's sleeper agents get to Rose's home and pump poison gas through the vents. Another agent breaks into the house and shoots Rose and his two friends, while Mike and Phoebe are in the basement. Phoebe tries escaping through the vents, but she falls through and Mike is attacked by an agent. Mike is exposed to the gas and uses a kettlebell to kill the agent. Phoebe then takes his gas mask. She shoots the agent responsible for gassing the house and helps Mike leave the house. She takes the antidote from the dead agent and injects it into Mike. Mike begins to feel sleepy, but Phoebe warns him that the gas he inhaled is very dangerous and that he will die if he loses consciousness. Mike starts to lose consciousness, and he sees flashes of memories he had with Phoebe, including memories he does not remember living. He sees a memory of his last interview with the CIA, but the person interviewing him was, surprisingly, Phoebe. Mike snaps out of it and pushes Phoebe away. He asks her how she knew the exact gas the agents used. Phoebe then hesitantly tells him that she works for the CIA, and she was assigned to be his handler 5 years ago. Mike asks if what they had was real, and Phoebe desperately tries to explain. But Mike feels betrayed and runs to her car with Phoebe hot on his trail. Phoebe tries again to explain in the car, but things soon devolve into an argument. Suddenly, their car is hit by a jeep being driven by Laffer and falls off a bridge. Laffer yanks Phoebe out of the car as he was told to bring her back alive. He then pours fuel on the car. He goes over to Phoebe to check on her and did not see Victoria, who had come around to rescue Mike before the car was set ablaze. Laffer takes Phoebe back to Adrian, while Victoria takes Mike somewhere safe. Victoria tells Mike that he was a volunteer for the Ultra program at a young age. She erased his memories and gave him a phobia of leaving home to make sure he does not leave. Mike thinks that if he was to die, he would rather die stoned, so he goes home to smoke. But when he gets home, some agents start shooting up his house, intent on killing him, and a drone strike is ordered to blow the house. Victoria kills one agent using a teddy bear as a silencer, while Mike finishes off the other agent by bouncing off a bullet on a pan. Meanwhile, at the CIA headquarters, Douglas cancels the drone strike Adrian ordered and calls Raymond, the man who was watching Mike in the interrogation room at the beginning of the movie. Mike calls Adrian and negotiates to get Phoebe back at a nearby supermarket. Adrian brings Phoebe and assembles his assassins at the supermarket. Mike makes an explosive entrance using the fireworks he got earlier and drives into the store. He fights off all the assassins using a dustpan, hammer, and whatever he could find at the store to kill them. Mike is left to face Laffer and fights viciously. Adrian takes Phoebe with him, and as he taunts her, she uncuffs herself with a paper clip and punches him. Victoria sneaks up on Adrian and is about to strangle him to death with a cable, when Raymond shows up and tells her to stand down. Meanwhile, as Mike is about to shoot Laffer, He slumps over and apologizes to Mike. He tells Mike that he isn't always in control of his actions, and he thinks that Mike is a better agent than him. Mike leaves Laffer to find Phoebe, and they walk out together to face the SWAT team that had assembled in the parking lot. Not wanting to delay anymore, Mike gets down on his knees to propose to Phoebe, and she says yes. But the beautiful moment is ruined when they both get tased. Raymond takes Victoria and Adrian to the woods and reprimands them for allowing all the deaths and destruction to happen as a result of activating Mike. He tells Victoria that he was the one that warned her about the planned assassination attempt on Mike, but he regrets it now. Raymond then shoots and kills Adrian and is about to kill Victoria, but she changes his mind. She tells him that Mike could be an extremely useful asset if given the chance. The scene then cuts back to the interrogation scene at the beginning of the movie, and the interrogator refers to Mike as Agent Howell. 6 months later, Mike and Phoebe are in the Philippines in what appears to be a romantic getaway. Mike kisses Phoebe and leaves her in the lobby while she looks at the camera. It is revealed that Victoria and Douglas are watching everything unfold. Mike goes to the elevator where he is taken by 2 gangsters as planned by Victoria. One of the gangsters threatens and taunts Mike, but he ignores him and focuses on the items in the room. He then springs into action. Let me know what you think about this movie in the comments below, and if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.